Welcome to this session on facility location decisions and models. In this session, we'll be targeting learning about the importance of facility location in production and operations management. We'll also learn about the different factors that influence uh, facility location decision as to where we should locate our production unit or manufacturing unit. And then we'll also study some of the commonly used location evaluation methods such as the factor rating method and center of gravity method. Now before we come to more elaboration on the facilities location decision factors and methods, let us try to understand why it is important to know about facilities location, like how important it is today. Now if we see location decisions are generally pertaining to the choice of an appropriate geographical site for locating various manufacturing and service facilities of an organization. In recent times or in the past few decades, we have witnessed that there has been a globalization of operations happening. Removal of entry barriers and reduction in cost of manufacturing due to tariff reductions have made some of the locations across the globe attractive destinations for shifting manufacturing bases. So whereas earlier manufacturing was happening for countries like based out of Europe or even USA at their native places, now because of the removal of entry barriers and reduction in costs of manufacturing due to tariff reductions, we see that the operations, their operations or manufacturing setups have seen a shift towards Asian countries such as India and China in particular. In China in particular, because of factor advantages, that is low cost of labor in particular, has been the main reason for shifting. So then the countries or the various multinational companies have also taken uh, uh, cognizance of the fact that there is a scope of expanding markets in developing countries. So if we talk about the developing countries, then they are witnessing rise in income levels. They are developing, and with the higher income levels, the citizens or the countrymen in these countries have a higher disposable income through which they can purchase or consume more products and services, and this gives an opportunity to companies across the globe to tap into this growing market or this growing customer base. All in all, we have seen that globalization is increasing. There are multiple factors, some of which we have just pointed out or discussed, and due to globalization of operations, we said that countries are shifting their manufacturing bases or operations units to different countries, and hence in this scenario the choice where this facility should be located across the globe becomes important consideration for them. Now we have tried to diagrammatically see that how the location decision in an organization gets impacted because of globalization. So we see that saturation of developed economies is happening, that economies which are developed, they are not growing at a very fast pace. Comparatively, the developing countries are going at a much faster rate. So the growth potential is there much more in developing countries. Hence the organizations are targeting the developing countries as a potential attractive customer base, development opportunity, as well as for shifting their operations, uh, typically the manufacturing units and operations unit in these countries. Now coupled with it, there is a fact that the labor is quite expensive, costly in these developed countries. So and materials also is costly. So because of that, the companies are shifting to those regions where there is lesser or there is cheaper availability of labor and raw materials. So the saturation being witnessed in developed countries, developed economies, coupled with the higher cost of inputs, is leading to the organizations choosing alternate locations for their setting up their manufacturing units. Now, economic reforms, particularly there, if we talk about the Indian scenario, then look LPG, as we know them, localization, privatization, globalization, the reforms, economic reforms initiated in 1991, the delicensed regime came to being. So various multinational companies came into India and started offering different variants of products and services. So huge market was there for these companies to tap. So this also is one of the reasons why uh, locations uh, are being shifted to such countries like India. So higher growth potential also is there, much more there compared to developed economies in terms. So typically, if we talk about developed economies, 1%, 2% has been the growth rate, GDP growth rate every year on year, which has been observed in last several decades. Compared to it, the growth rate is much more, typically 6% and even more, if talk about countries like India. So the emerging economies like India, um, they provide an attractive base for the multinational organizations to shift or to concentrate or focus on setting up their bases in India. Uh, there is a concept of competitiveness also, that different countries offer different enablers which provide attractive options, or which are offering which are seen as lucrative options for companies to shift their manufacturing bases. So at the it is a layer or three tier structure which we see over here in this particular diagram. At the outside we have the country competitiveness. So a country's competitiveness is assessed at the outermost level. So typically government budget and regulations play a major role in deciding that how competitive a country is. Now, quality of judicial and political institutions, also how stable the political environment is, how fast the judicial processes get executed in a particular country, and then openness to international trade and finance. All these factors play an important role in making a country more competitive compared to others, and attracting the different multinational companies to set up their bases. Now, development of financial markets and extent to which national environment is conducive or detrimental to business, that they also play a major role or important role in deciding the comparison, that which country wins when we compare from amongst various options as to where a company should set up its new organizational base. Then within the sector, competitiveness is also assessed. So first is the country level competitiveness that is assessed. Then it is the sectoral level competitiveness that is assessed, and this typically depends on the availability, what is labor is cheap or not, or labor is available or not, the market is flexible or not, whether we have adequate quality infrastructure available like roads, power connection to the place where it is proposed to set up a manufacturing unit, and the quality of technology, whether it is available or there in that particular sector. All these factors are contributing towards sector competitiveness. Then within that, the third tier is of that of companies, a particular individual company's competitiveness, and it depends on its ability, that is an organization's ability to design, produce and market products superior to its competitors. So if we are able to design, produce and market your products in a better manner compared to competitors, and your business management competence is better compared to other companies, then you are more competitive, and you are more likely to succeed compared to your competitors. So this is a three-tier model of competitiveness of a location. Uh, and this facility location decision takes into consideration all these factors, and it is important not only from the perspective of a new manufacturing unit coming up, or an organization which is starting its first time operations, but it is also applicable to take a look at all those environmental factors for existing organizations, as well as for players which are of global nature, means they have their setups in different countries. Just to take a look at a quick comparison between India and China. So we have seen that China has emerged in the last few decades as a hub, manufacturing hub for the entire world. And if we try to compare that, how China compares with India in terms of competitiveness, so if we see that for starting a business, there are a number of uh, procedures which need to be followed, or you have to apply for various various documentations is required. And in India we have 12 such procedures compared to 13 in China, and the typical number of days for getting an application process is 33 days in China compared to 27 days in India. Now the cost, when we come to the cost, as a percentage of per capita income level, it is just 2% in China, whereas it is 47, close to over 47% in India. So the cost is quite high compared to China, and this gives an edge to China in terms of providing an attractive option. Then when we come to enforcing of contracts, so typically when you get into an arrangement with some organization, or you outsource some of your operations or manufacturing operations to a country, so then the countries like China and India are also differing on these accounts, that the number of procedures required to be or formalities need to be completed is much lesser. That is only 19 procedures required compared to 46 in so more than double procedures are required in India. Also the time, just over 1 year to or close to 14 months is a typical time period for China, whereas it is if we compare it to India, it takes around over 1400 days to complete or enforce contracts, which is pretty long. So quite a significant difference in time periods for enforcing contracts. And if we see cost as a percentage of debt, then the cost in India is also much higher, almost more than three times higher than China. China is only 11%, whereas India is close to 40%. Now if somebody wishes to close its operations, then for winding up its operation, an organization typically on an average will take just 1.7 years in China compared to 4.3 years. So much more time is required. So it gives flexibility for companies, organizations to find China as an attractive option. So when they are looking at exit options when they want to close a business for after a particular number of years. Also the cost as a percentage of estate cost, it's 20% in China, whereas it's 9% in India. So it's a bit higher in China, and the recovery rate, it is 36%, much higher in as compared to India, which is just 25.6%. This is based on a study conducted by the World Bank in 2014, where it attempted to understand regulations of small and medium sized enterprises and compared those countries. So it is the right time, I think, when we are standing amidst COVID also, and talks around that after post COVID-19 scenario, quite a few countries and their organizations will be looking for more options to shift their manufacturing bases. So India could take a look at its different uh, regulations and regimes to offer attractive options to such companies, so that India can emerge as an attractive manufacturing hub, and Make in India can become a concrete reality. Now, coming to different factors, like whence we have seen that globalization of operations is happening, there are various factors responsible for it. Now, when we choose a particular organization location, that where we have to set up our manufacturing or operations unit, then there are some factors which are taken into consideration, and those are classified into two kinds. Some are the general location factors, and there are some specific location specific factors. We'll take a look at each of them in more details. So when we go about as to in which region we should select or set up our new manufacturing base, then there are some factors like these. The availability of how easily the raw material is available, that is one of the important element or important factor which we consider while setting up. So if we require certain kind of raw materials, then maybe locating our plant close to that raw material might be easier. So like if we are related to maybe steel, so where steel, iron and steel is available, that there we might be interested in setting up our manufacturing unit. So similarly, it depends on your raw material requirements. So electricity generation plants, for example, if they are thermal plants, they require coal. So wherever coal is available, they will be interested in setting up their manufacturing facility close to or electricity generation facility close to where coal is available. And then the nearness to market. Now nearest to market gives an advantage in terms of you can be, an organization can be very responsive, means the variations in customers demands or customers expectations, they can be fulfilled much easily if you are located much nearer to your customer, means much nearer to your market. So that gives enhanced responsiveness advantage to such organizations. So if your product is such that you need to be constantly in touch with the customers, and you need to quickly modify the product and make that available as per the requirements of customers, then probably it is better to locate your manufacturing or service hub close to your market or where your customers are based. Now availability of power, transport facilities, and for certain operations you might also want to take a look at the climatic conditions in a particular place. So if typical manufacturing requires some raw materials which are of perishable nature, or your products which probably get manufactured best in certain type of climatic conditions, maybe not much of moisture is required, then probably you will also consider that climate at a place as also an important factor in deciding a location. Then of course government policies, taxes and restrictions are also play an important role. The water and firefighting facilities also are an important consideration for locating or selecting a particular region for your for locating a manufacturing and operations unit. Now there are some site specific factors like what is the kind of soil available, then the size of land available, the whether the disposal facility for waste generated in an operations unit are available or not. Those are also important considerations for selecting a particular site within a region. So if for example, if you require that uh, certain regions have soft soils, then and your organization requires that some a setup be built which has a firm soil base or firm base, then probably soil consideration will become an important consideration for you. uh, so similarly the size of land availability, as I mentioned, the waste disposal facilities, those are also important considerations. Then at a national level, that is when we talked about in earlier slides about countries competitiveness. So how much politically stable the government regime is in the country, what are the foreign currency exchange rates, and the cultural and economic some characteristics which are existing in at a national level in particular country, that will be a deciding factor. And also of course the natural environment uh, there, like as we mentioned in the previous slide about climate and all. So those are also important considerations. Now there are some general location factors which are controllable, means you can organization can have control it to a certain extent, like how close to your market or customers you want to be located, the suppliers when they are supplying, so where are your suppliers located, that can be an important consideration. What are the transportation facilities available in that region, so as the whatever is being manufactured in your operations unit, it can be supplied to your customers or to the market efficiently and effectively. Infrastructure availability, as I already mentioned, like whether adequate road infrastructure is there, electricity, power connection is there, water supply is there, all these factors. Then is the labor available in adequate number and at a cheaper rate? That is an important consideration. Then the financials markets, or how the economic condition is, that is also important. How easily a capital is available for your organization, maybe for work in progress inventory or setting up your manufacturing unit. All those are important consideration. Now when we talk about being close to the market or proximity to the market or to the customers, then there are certain categories of products which are delicate and they can easily get spoiled. So for them we need that these such kind of projects should be as close to the market as possible, so that we can not much of movement is required, in which the chances of getting damaged is there. And then there are some products which might require after sales service promptly, so you need to be close to your customers, so in these such cases, so that you are able to quickly provide services, after sales service, to them, to the customers. So that is also one of the reasons why you might want to be close to your market. Now in certain cases transportation costs might be very high, and then in such cases you might want to avoid transportation costs, so you would wish to be close to your market, so that your transportation costs are get reduced, or you efficiently are able to supply the products and services to your customers at a much cheaper price, otherwise compared to what it would have been otherwise. Now shelf life of product might be low, means like perishable products or milk, dairy products, you cannot store them for long. Vegetables, fruits, so you use sometimes cold storage, but in cold storage environment also it cannot be for very long that you can store such perishable products. So you need to be close to your market, so that you can quickly supply to the market or to your customers. So hence you might want to be close to your market. Now we have already seen some of the importance of supply of raw materials, that it is very important. So when we have a single kind of raw material majorly being used, and this material doesn't lose weight, so it is maybe like there are certain categories of materials which lose weight. It means if say moisture content is there, water content, and over a period of time it gets dried up, so your weight will be reduced. So when there is a single raw material which generally doesn't have much loss of weight over a period of time, then locating the plant at maybe done at the raw material source at the market or any point in between, so it is not affected much as to being close to the raw material supply or to the market. But when there is a weight losing material, then you would prefer definitely that you are located close to your raw materials. So originally, say suppose raw material is supplied in particular number of tons, so you won't want that once it is shipped to long distances and there is a loss in weight. So if there is 100 tons of supply of material at the source from the supplier, and when it reaches your plant in transportation it loses weight, and it gets maybe 90 tons, 95 tons, it loses some weight, then you will be at a loss. So you would want that in such cases you should be located close to your supplier or raw material source. And when there are cases when raw material is easily available across the globe or in all regions, across all locations, then you might prefer to be close to your market so that you are more responsive to your customers' needs, and you're able to quickly fulfill their demands for products and services. And if the raw materials are processed from a variety of locations, the plant may be situated um, so as to minimize total transportation costs. So in case the raw materials are processed from different locations, then you might want to minimize your transportation costs. This is a particular type of structure we see, like sometimes in ready-made garments. You see that cotton is produced somewhere else, then it is processed and the thread is made somewhere else, and then the dyeing of the thread is and treatment is done somewhere else, and then finally the textile which manufactured is stitched at some other location. So multiple locations are involved. So in such a cases, you have different setups at different locations, one for processing of the raw material, that is cotton, one for dyeing of raw material, then one for stitching, all those. So you have to take into consideration where locating your setup will be such that you will have minimum transportation costs. So your transportation cost is an important element in such cases. So what we mean to say is that the nature of raw material and um, the requirements of processing of raw material also determines or plays an important role in choosing which particular site you would wish to locate an organization's manufacturing unit. Now, there are some general locational factors which are uncontrollable beyond the control of an organization. So, government policies typically fall under this category. Climatic conditions are not within the control of any organization. Whether supporting industries and services are available, community and labor attitudes towards an organization, that is considered to be like uncontrollable. And we have seen that sometimes there are several severe critical issues arising when you don't have labor attitudes favoring your organization. So we have seen last few years cases where like companies operations such as Hero MotoCorps or Maruti Suzuki's were stalled because of labor issues. So they are important factors to consider. Now the infrastructure, of course, as we discussed, is also an important community infrastructure. The surrounding community should also be favoring your. So we have seen cases where organizations have to move from a particular region just because the surrounding the community or the people around didn't support it. We have seen the case in Uttarakhand when Coca-Cola was wanting to set up a big industry, big manufacturing setup close to Dehradun, near Kalsi, but because of opposition from the surrounding villagers, they couldn't do it despite the government wanting them to set up the plant. So community, sometimes the community confidence as community role becomes very important. Now there are some specific site related factors like whether labor is cheap and adequately available, whether you're close to your market, whether quality of life is being affected positively or negatively. Those are important factors to consider of the labor, people, employees, and the surrounding community where is impacting their quality of life is impacted by your manufacturing setup. That needs to be seen. Then you might want to be close to your supplier or resources. Typically in automobile industry we see that they want their suppliers of different spare parts to be located in close proximity. So typically 10 to 20 kilometers radius, in that they will wish to have their suppliers, majority of the suppliers. So we see examples like Maruti Suzuki in Delhi NCR, which has promoted that their suppliers be set up in the Delhi NCR or Gurgaon Faridabad belt, so that they can quickly supply the raw materials or the spare parts required by them. And of course the utilities, taxes, and real estate costs also play an important dominant role. So these are some of the major factors, dominant factors, which are considered while choosing a particular location for setting up a manufacturing unit. Now there are some secondary factors apart from the dominant factors. So whether we have room for expansion, adequate expansion possibility exists, Open land typically, and availability of more labor for expansion, all these factors come into play. Then for expansion we might be needing construction, so what will is going to be the construction cost at the beginning, and in expansion they are also an important consideration, because the construction costs also vary from place to place. So that also needs to be taken into account while deciding as to where we want to set up our operations unit or manufacturing unit. Then whether at a particular location we have multiple modes of transportation available or accessible. So if a place is well connected by rail, road, air, or maybe water, like ship, then probably you will find it an attractive option, so that your products can move easily through various modes depending on your requirements and your markets. Now the cost of shuttling people materials between plants, wherever it is easy, then you will find it an attractive option, so that is also considered. And then competition from other competitors is also an important element to consider while deciding on the location. Community attitudes I have already talked about. So we have summarized that there are different factors. Some are market related factors, some are cost related factors, some are other cultural issues, quality of life issues, regulatory and policy issues. So this is basically summarizing that under the four major heads, different factors which come into play for deciding location of our for setting up our location, setting up our new operations unit. Now there are in certain cases some special economic zones also, wherein some special incentives are extended by governments. So tax holiday, like in Selakui near Dehradun, we had when the new state was formed, a tax holiday of 10 years. So that was seen by companies and an attractive option, and many pharma companies set up their manufacturing bases in Selakui Pharma City. In fact, it was named Selakui Pharma City. So those are attractive options. Then you get special provisions or attractive options for export incentives also. So we have seen that Nokia and Flextronics Electronics is hardware special economic zones in Sri Perumbudur. They not only provide huge employment opportunity to the local populace, but from other states also. And apart from that, the special provisions like employment generation opportunities or increased exports and quality infrastructure development, they extend a major advantage to the companies to set up their bases in such places if they are located if your industry is related to electronics. Those sometimes special economic zones are also considered while deciding on where we want to set up, or where an organization wants to set up its manufacturing base. Now there are various methods when we evaluate. So we have considered different factors. So from amongst different factors, we need to choose or firm up which are the major factors for our particular organizations to decide the facility location, and then how we will evaluate. So it can be done arbitrarily, that this is good, this is bad. We should have a quantitative specific method by which we should be able to do this. So for this we have different methods. So they are typically classified into two types. One is the one facility multiple candidates, means you are having a one manufacturing setup or facility, and from there you are supplying to different markets. That arrangement can be there for your organization operation unit. In such cases we have the location factor rating method, center gravity method, load distance method typically. And when we have an arrangement where there are multiple manufacturing bases and multiple places where you will be supplying the manufactured goods from that manufacturing facilities, then it is a case of multiple facility multiple candidates. And transportation model, which aims to achieve lowest transportation cost, that is the model which is followed. In this session we'll target the first two methods, that is the location factor rating method and the center of gravity method. Now the location factor rating method involves certain steps. We'll see these steps being followed through an example also. So just to quickly recap, or to quickly refer to the steps. The first step is to identify and list down what are the major important relevant factors for deciding the location. Then based on those factors, we try to establish the relative importance from amongst those identified factors, that which is most important and which is the second most important, and so on and so forth. We might be doing ranking or rating for these factors. So we have top management officials or experts. We might ask them that, okay, these are the factors, different factors, or they itself might be involved in choosing which are the important factors to consider. And then we ask them, okay, from amongst these identified factors, you kindly rate which were on a scale of maybe 1 to 100 or 1 to 10, that which is the most important, which is the next most important, so on and so forth. And that way we get the relative importance of each factors. And then we also ask them, okay, after the relative importance of each factor, you also rank or rate the different options for setting up these locations. So we might have 3, 4, 5 locations where we want to set up a unit, and from amongst those we want to choose the best location. So we ask them, okay, from amongst the location, depending on each of the factor identified above, you give us a rating that which location is most attractive in terms of a particular factor. And then based on these steps, we calculate a compiled a consolidated total score, and whichever location scores the most, that is considered to be the best fit or best choice for locating our manufacturing base. Let us try to understand this steps through an example which will make the things more clear. So let's take an example. When we have to come up set up a new medical facility related to healthcare in a region, say Delhi NCR. So there are many locational factors which might be considered depending on discussion with your top management or experts. You identified, say for example, 5 factors that these play an important role. So facility utilization, how much the setup facility which you set up will be utilized, that is an important consideration. Then the total patient per month, that will be, you know, the estimate for that will be an important factor for deciding the location. Then average time per emergency trip, that is another factor. The land and construction costs are also considered for this facility as an important factor. Then employees preferences are also considered an employee, so which place the employees might prefer for location, that is also an important factor. So we have the 5 factors listed out here, identified. Now based on our senior management and experts, we will ask that you kindly rate these identified factors on a scale of 1 to 10. So the experts rated at 8 that facility utilization is probably the most important factor according to them. So on a scale of 1 to 10, they have rated different factors from amongst these. Then we are wanting to set up our plant at one of the locations out of location 1 and location 2. So we again ask these experts or our top management officials that, okay, you rate in terms of each of these factors the 2 locations. So on a scale of say 1 to 5 or 1 to 10, we might ask them. So in case we want to ask them on a scale of 1 to 5 for facility location, rate the location 1 and location 2. So they gave a score of 3 to location 1 as far as facility location is concerned, and as far as location 2 facility is concerned, they ranked it as at score of 5. So they consider location 2 be more attractive in terms of facility location. This means, so we get the ranking or rating done of various factors, as well as each factor wise rating done for the different location options which we have. After we have done that, now we calculate the score. So how do we calculate the score? We calculate the score by factor rating method like this. For so these are the scores which are given by the different experts. Or so we, corresponding to location 1, well, the first is the facility location, which has been given a score of rating of 8, and the rating of location 1 as far as facility utilization is concerned is given 3. So we multiply 8 by 3 to get a score of 24. Similarly we do for total patient per month. So the rating is 5 and for this, and for location 1 the rating is 4 as far as total patient per month is concerned. So 5 into 4 is 20. So we calculate all these scores for each of the locations. So we have done for location 1, similarly we do for location 2. So 8 multiplied by 5 gives us 40, 5 multiplied by 3 gives us 15. So we calculate the rating scores for both the location 1 and location 2. Now we sum up all these scores to get a total consolidated score of 96 for location 1 and 106 for location 2. So we see that the score of location 2 is more, 106 is more than 96. So this we can say is a more attractive option. Location 2 is more attractive option or more fit location by the rating method, factor rating method. So we can have another example of a company where there are different site locations, 3 site locations to choose from, and the weightages are assigned, means the same ranking is assigned for different factors. So these might be again based on the experts or top level management inputs, that how much relative importance they assign to the different factors. So they have probably assigned on a scale of 0 to 1. So we see that point 3, labor pool and climate is considered to be the most important by this ranking or rating these factors. And then on a scale of 1 to 100, they have listed out their preferences or rankings for the 3 sites. Similarly, following that rating method, we can calculate the scores which are got by multiplying weight by the corresponding site ranking score for each of the factors. So 0.3 into 8 gives us 24. Similarly, 0.2 into 100 will give us 20. So we'll calculate the scores for each of the factors and with respect to each of the site, and similarly we'll do that for score site 2 and 3 as we have done in the previous example. So once we do that, we get these scores for different sites with respect to different factors, and when we sum them, then we get a consolidated score for each of the 3 sites. So from amongst these we see that 82.05 is the maximum score. So site 3 is the considered to be the best site as far as having the highest rating, so it should be chosen ideally as the feasible location or most attractive location for locating a manufacturing plant. Now there are some practice questions given based on the same approach which we have just studied, the rating method, factor rating method. So you can, for your more understanding practice, solve these to get a better understanding of the concept. Now after that we have a second method for evaluation that is called the center of gravity method. In this method what we are doing is, it is primarily based on cost considerations, and transport costs are minimized and we try to minimize the total distance traveled. If we set up a facility or plant at a particular place, then we try to assess that what will be the minimum cost involved. So how do we do it? We are taking a weighted average of the coordinates for the respective site locations. We'll see to this how it works in actual sense through an example which will make the things more clear. Now like in this case we have considered, say for example 1, 2 and 3 locations. So you might be having 3 suppliers, say for your you have a manufacturing, you are wanting to set up a manufacturing unit, and for that you have identified that there will be 3 suppliers who will be supplying the raw materials to you, and each of these suppliers is having an x and y coordinate specified. So say it can be in latitude, longitude, for example. So you are specifying x-axis over here, y-axis over here, and each of this axis a coordinate is fixed. So your UPS location, say, is fixed or identified. Now we have the supplier 1 x1 y1, supplier 2 at x2 y2, and supplier 3 as x3 y3, and then these suppliers will be supplying material, say W1 tons or W1 kgs to your the location where you want to set up your manufacturing unit, and similarly the supplier 2 will be supplying W2 and supplier 3 W3. So where to locate, considering that your suppliers are located at this. So what we do is we find a center of gravity of these 3 suppliers, and then that is considered to be the best location. So we basically arrive at the coordinates of center of gravity for these 3 suppliers, and this is done by this formulas. So we multiply each of the coordinates with the corresponding weights, and then sum it up for all our suppliers and divide this summed quantity by the summation of all weights, that is the total material being supplied. This way we get the coordinates for our center of gravity location. Let's see through an example. So we have, say, 4 suppliers A, B, C and D, which will be supplying materials to us or to an organization. So A is supplying, say, 75 units, maybe tons or pounds, or 75 trucks full of load. B 105, C 135 and D 60. So this is giving us the weights, and now along with the weights we also need the x and y coordinates. So for A we see that the x coordinate is 200 and y coordinate is 200. So A is specified by 200, 200 and 75 as weight. Similarly B is identified as 100 x coordinate, 500 y coordinate and 105 as the weight. Similarly we do that for the rest of the two. So we get, what we get is, we get the coordinates, x coordinate, y coordinate and the weight, corresponding weight. So for A location 200, 275, that's what we did in our we saw in our last slide. So 808 A point is located by x coordinate of 200, y coordinate of 275. So we put A as 200, 275. Similarly for B 100, 500, 105 and D and D. Now we calculate the weighted average, means we multiply x by the corresponding weight for A, sum it to the x coordinate of P multiplied by its weight, plus x coordinate of C multiplied by the weight, and x coordinate of D multiplied by its weight, divided by the total weight, means W1 plus W2 plus WA plus WB plus WC plus WD. This way we get 230 as the x coordinate for our center of gravity location. Similarly for y coordinates we calculate. So 200 into 75 plus 500 into 105 plus 600 into 135 plus 300 into 60 divided by sum of total of weights. So that is 75 plus 105 plus 135 plus 60. This we do in this formula and we arrive at 444. So ideally the coordinates of the best location as per center of gravity method is x coordinate of 238 and y coordinate of 444. So we see that 238, 444 will land up somewhere around here, between 238, 238 somewhere here and 444 somewhere here. So maybe somewhere here if we base our location, then according to center of gravity methods, that will be the best location, and we'll have minimum transportation costs involved, that A, B, C, D whenever they supply, so minimum cost of transportation will be there. There is another example for the same method of center of gravity, in which we have similarly the 3 locations, 3 supplier locations maybe, or 3 warehouses from where the products will be supplied, and we go ahead with the same weighted average method for establishing the x and y coordinates, and using that we arrive at the solution. So you can go through that and try to understand. We have given 2 practice questions also for you to do it by yourself, so that you get a better understanding. Now recently there are some other issues which are also important, which need to be considered. So international markets trends indicate that there is a shift towards fewer facilities, that instead of having many facilities, companies now are going for having fewer number of facilities that could serve the markets worldwide. So few facilities where manufacturing is done, and then you supply to the entire worldwide locations from that same facilities. So typically the desk jet printers being manufactured by HP or Dell PCs exhibit this kind of arrangement. Now these developments are there, and we identify that there are 2 main reasons or areas which could justify that such kind of arrangement, that there is a good quality in transportation infrastructure available, so because of which you can easily transport materials from one place to another. So this has given the companies an enabler to set up fewer facilities, and then using the good infrastructure for transportation supply the materials from to across the globe. Then use of internet and IT infrastructure, it facilitates that now communication is much faster. So through email or through integrated ERP softwares, enterprise resource planning softwares, you can easily communicate with your suppliers, with your markets, with your distributors. So communication is fast. So that again is an incentive, or is seen as an emerging trend, and that gives also a reason to be based in or to be operating in fewer facilities compared to what it was earlier. Now, just-in-time manufacturing philosophies have emerged wherein you want to have minimum inventory maintained. So ideally, you wish your suppliers to be located close by. So this we have already discussed in case of like companies, automotive companies like Maruti Suzuki or Delhi Hero MotoCorp. In Delhi NCR, Maruti Suzuki has its suppliers, majority of suppliers located close by on the Gurgaon Faridabad belt. So this is a typical example of that. Now service quality depends on responsiveness of service system. So um, being close to your customer again is an important consideration, especially in services where if for physical products you can go for different, but definitely for service operations, or when you are service is important for customers, then you want to be located close to your customers. Now, to summarize what we have learned today in this session, first is that we have seen that there are emerging trends because of which globalization of markets have happened. So multinational companies are there which are having manufacturing facilities in different locations across the globe, and they extend various advantages and attractive expanding options. There are emerging markets where rising middle income class provides an attractive customer base for such organizations. And then there are several qualitative and quantitative approaches, different factors which are considered for locating your manufacturing unit or base. So there are few important methods, like rating method or center of gravity method, which we have seen, and availability of good infrastructure in recent developments in internet technologies, communication technologies are suggesting that it is possible to have fewer locations for manufacturing and still provide better customer service. And location decisions in service systems then must address requirement of speed of responsiveness. So therefore, when you're into service operations or service oriented systems, then locating your service outlets as close to the customers as possible may be highly desirable, and you set up your bases closer to your customers. So with this we conclude the session. Thank you for being a patient listener.